The search goes on for the man who gunned down the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan. The suspect in the Wednesday morning shooting ran off. He jumped on a bike and rode into Central Park. Police do have surveillance video and are trying to catch him. They believe Thompson was targeted by the gunman. The 50-year-old shot multiple times outside the New York Hilton Midtown. Police sources told the New York Post that the words deny, depose, and defend were written on the live rounds and casings left behind by the assassin after the shooting.
Yeah, that apparently is the title of a book on why insurance companies don't pay claims and what you can do about it. The words deny, defend, and depose. So if you were wondering what the motive might be, it certainly seems like an indication. This is a horrific shooting, and it was all caught on video. I mean, the surveillance video that captured this, you see the CEO just walking on that New York City street on the sidewalk, and you see the gunman come up behind him, and he fires the first shot. You can see the CEO kind of stumble and fall after that. And then he proceeds to fire. Looked like one or two more shots, and then it appeared that the gun jammed. There was an innocent bystander who was just standing right to the side of them.
Right there, right kind of in between them and off to the side. Yeah, it was really crazy.
You could see like a delayed reaction, couldn't believe what they were seeing, and then they ran the hell out of there. And the gunman at no point tried to shoot the bystander or anything just solely focused on the United Healthcare CEO, who had apparently been receiving threats. And now the search is on for this individual. There is surveillance footage of him at a Starbucks prior to
he
the shooting.
Went to Starbucks, he got a water, he got something to eat, and then he put the water bottle and the packaging from whatever he was eating in the trash. And so police have the water bottle, in that trash that has his DNA on it.
There was a story, I think it was out of New York too, a while ago, where somebody was captured. They caught someone who committed a crime. I forget what they had done.
Pizza. It had something to do with pizza, didn't it?
Was it Rex Heuermann, the serial killer?
Yep, it was the murderer on Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something with the pizza, but like unfinished pizza or something like that, and it got tossed in the trash. And law enforcement they were monitoring it, and they went and they got it, and that's how they got the DNA. So hopefully they can make a break in the case. Now, when I first heard of this story, it's shocking to think that somebody would, go and essentially like assassinate a CEO of a company. But when you think about the healthcare industry and what some people go through, this is in no way condoning what happened, but I honestly didn't find it all that surprising.
There's a lot of anger out there.
Yeah. I was almost like, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner.
Right, because people are so crazy to pull the trigger and just shoot someone.
Yeah. And when you try to navigate the healthcare system and deal with insurance companies and things like that, and let's say it's you or a loved one, and you need a drug or you need a treatment or something, gets denied.
It's frustrating.
It can be, and I believe United Healthcare, I want to say they're one of the leaders in terms of denials of claims, like a third of them. So everything is pointing towards that being the motive. But then there are also questions like, how did he know where this CEO was going to be? Not the investor conference that he was attending, because that you could do some research and probably find, but what was the process like to stake him out like that?
Yeah. It's like something out of a movie.
We probably need to know more about him and how close he was to the industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So. And then there's also the report that he and some other United Healthcare executives were under investigation by the DOJ for insider trading. So could that aspect have anything to do with this?
Right. Lots of questions. But again, just a horrific situation in New York City yesterday.
Pete Hegseth, President-elect Trump's pick to lead the Defense Department, is condemning the press for what he described as a manufactured media takedown. Both Hegseth and his mother are blaming the media for what he says is a hit job. Now, he's facing increased accusations about excessive drinking. The New Yorker reported on Sunday that he was forced to step down by 2 nonprofit advocacy groups that he ran because of mismanagement of funds, sexual impropriety, and then excessive drinking. NBC reported that Hegseth's drinking worried colleagues at Fox News, where he was the weekend host until earlier this month. And President-elect Trump has not said that he is pulling the nomination, but we do hear word that Governor DeSantis could be a possible replacement if Hegseth goes down in the process.
That there were conversations between Trump and DeSantis about that. Now, in terms of the Fox News drinking issue, Fox News colleagues have come out, many of them, and said on the record that that's not true. They'd never seen anything like that. In these stories, NBC News, The New Yorker, it's a lot of anonymous sources. I think
it's a lot.
It's a lot. One of the charities has come out and said that was not why Pete Hegseth left. Here's the problem, and here's the problem I have with just blaming it on the media, which, if there's something to be critical about, I would have no problem criticizing the media for. But you had the initial sexual assault allegation that came out, and there was, a pushback to that, whether or not it was true. To me, when this reached a new level was when the New York Times reported on his mother's email to him, calling him an abuser. And his mother can criticize the New York Times all she wants for reporting on it. It was somebody in the Hegseth circle who gave it to them, and of course they're going to publish that. And it raises a lot of questions because there aren't many mothers who would write that kind of an email, and it came during a contentious divorce that was the result of him impregnating a coworker while he was on his second marriage. So this idea that, there should be no questions.
Like media witch
right.
hunt. Yeah.
And also I would push back on how Hegseth and his mother are characterizing certain things in terms of, this is because he's going to come in and he's going to change the Department of Justice and clean it up. Well, Governor DeSantis will do the exact same thing if he is the one who ends up becoming the defense secretary. He'll take out the DEI programs and he'll, reorganize it, all that kind of stuff, implement reforms, and there wouldn't be any of this tied to him.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, he didn't deny, or the mom didn't deny that she wrote the letter.
No, she said she apologized right after she wrote it.
Yeah, she claimed
she regretted it, but she also forwarded it to his second wife.
But here's the problem I had with her statement on Fox yesterday. She went on with Steve Doocy. It was a friendly environment.
Yeah.
He spoke to her softly. It was a lot of softball questions, and she was given the opportunity to answer what I think was a good question, which was, are you prepared to go to the U.S. Senate and testify on behalf of your son? Mm-hmm. And you know what she said? She's like, I can't answer that. I'm not gonna address that.
Yeah.
Look, she's gonna do a softball interview on Fox. That's fine. But then she won't go and do the interview with the real questions, where she's gonna have to go under oath and answer these questions about her son. I think it hurt her credibility.
Yeah. And look, just the reality of the situation here. When you got to have your mom go on TV and vouch for you and backtrack on things that she wrote in black and white in an email about you, things that most mothers wouldn't say about their son. And you've got to assure senators that you don't have a drinking problem and that you wouldn't drink on the job. I mean, that your nomination isn't going well. I think that's a fair, objective observation to make.
It really is.
Doesn't mean that he won't get through. It's just not good. And you've got the person who nominated you talking to other people about replacing you. It's just, you're not in a great place right now. You got a lot of work to do to try to pull yourself out, if that's even possible.
And Trump doesn't even like drinking.
No,
he doesn't.
He does
He's
not.
Never had a drink in his life.
He doesn't drink, which sometimes when you see those posts in the middle of the night, you're like,
you wonder how that's possible.
Yeah. All right, Chris Trankman with today's top stories. Chris, thanks so much.
Thank you.